Hi, this is Mike, and today is December 10th, 2023. Hope you're all enjoying the cooler weather. Let's talk about the new New York notary fees we can charge and all fees variations, and let's review some of the old laws that you should all hear every now and then to stay out of trouble. So this is a good update and review video for established traditional New York notaries, those of you that have been with me for a long time or just got licensed. People studying for the New York notary exam, because now everything on here is on the new exam. And people who want to upgrade to remote online notary, I just want you folks to know that you can't get a remote online notary RON license until you're already one of the people that have the traditional license. So if you're going to go to our website and get an online notary course, don't do it until you get the basic notary licensing course, because that's the prerequisite. And this is also good for people who want, as a side gig or as a traveling notary, to earn extra income, or if you're doing it for your employer and they're going to send you out. So it does look a little more confusing to people, but hopefully by the end of this video we'll clear it all up, because some things aren't even in the law. Like when you're a traveling notary, you can charge extra fees and services that are allowed by the IRS regulations, because the notary law doesn't even cover that in New York State, but I'll tell you what is allowed. So some things that have not changed that you should remember, for those of you that have been with notary licensing for a long time: only the notary is entitled to the fee. So for example, if you work at a bank, and I've heard this so many times from people that call, the bank management wants to charge the general public coming into the bank a fee, and the bank wants to get paid for when you're working at the bank and you're notarizing for the clients. That's technically not permissible by law in New York State. Only the notary is entitled to the fee. Of course, in the real world, we know that where people work, their employer is taking that fee. Kind of reminds me of when you go to a Chinese restaurant. Like my daughter had a job in a Chinese restaurant before college this summer, and the boss was taking all her tips. Anyway, the next thing is that you should remember is charging more than is allowed, that you're going to see in this video, is professional misconduct as a state officer, and your license could be suspended or removed for getting caught doing that, and you could potentially be sued in civil court for treble damages. That means triple whatever you overcharged. The next thing is you're not required to charge a fee. So you're allowed to notarize for free. So you can also then reduce your fee if you are charging. And we never talked about that before, but to be competitive with remote online notary and traveling notary and signing agent notary and doing loans and all the different thousands of things you could be assigned to travel to people's houses or offices to notarize in like large packets where you're notarizing more than one signature, it could be negotiable. There are times when you would agree to charge less than allowed by law. So traveling to people to notarize has unregulated fees for extra services that we're going to discuss. Could be a little confusing, but it'll all be cleared up at the end of this video. Okay, so I just want to show you in the law where it says the traditional notary fee is still $2 when people come to you. That's $2 per signature. So in section 136 and the 2023 New York Notary License Law, it covers notarial fees. A notary public shall be entitled to the following fees. One, for administering an oath or affirmation. Stop right there. An oath or affirmation is an affidavit. They both mean an affidavit. The oath is where you administer the verbal oath and you're saying to them, do they swear? And an affirmation is you're asking them, do they affirm, is in that. And we're not going to cover the whole thing, but affidavits. You can charge for um, any kind of a notary certificate in New York State is $2 when somebody visits you. You're not allowed to charge anything else than $2 when they come to you. Now, for taking and certifying acknowledgments and proofs of execution of a written instrument by one person, $2, and by each additional person, $2. So if there's more than one person in the certificate you're filling out, it's $2 per person per signature. A lot of people call and get confused by that. And for swearing the witness is $2. So it's always $2 per signature you're notarizing. That's the best way to remember and stay out of trouble. Now, this is new for electronic notary services called RON, established in section 135C, which is like a huge amount of new laws for the new people taking the exam. The fee is set and it's $25 for remote online notaries. And it seems like a lot of information here, but bear with this. Um, it's good to know this for all of you that aren't even going to be a RON. But this is the new 2023 rules. You must first be licensed as a traditional New York notary as a prerequisite to upgrading to a New York Remote Online Notary RON. We have had several people that bought our RON course before they went and got their regular notary license, and it says right on it, that you have to have the traditional license first. But people who are watching this, hopefully you'll make a note of that. So fees. A notary public shall be entitled to a fee for notarial acts as set forth in section 136 of the executive law. An electronic notary public shall be entitled to a fee of $25 for each electronic notarial act performed. Now, that is confusing to some people, because if you're in there and you're doing like loan papers and there's 5 pages that need to be notarized, those are all separate notarial acts. It's just that they're all in a packet. And so just remember, it's per certificate that you're filling out, because it's a separate notarial act per certificate that you're filling out. And this shall be inclusive of all costs incurred by the notary public. So unlike when you travel as a traveling notary and you go to somebody's house and you can charge mileage and an hourly rate and bridges and tolls and even some Dunkin' Donuts if you're at a hospital visiting a patient that needs things notarized. Unlike that, when you do it online as a RON, the $25 includes all the other fees. It says basically you can't charge additional fees. So I want you to note that each signature you notarize, where you're either doing an affidavit or an acknowledgement, is a separate electronic notarial act. So you can legally charge the fee each time you're doing one in the online session. So it could be more than one. So that could add up fast if you're notarizing a stack of individual documents, like a real estate closing where you're the signing agent, they call it that. Where there were, for example, 15 notary certificates to get done on that packet. Because, for those of you that have realized the American dream, a mortgage, you probably, when at your closing, you probably signed like 25 times, but only 15 of them had to be notarized. So every separate certificate with signatures are individual legal documents. There are thousands of scenarios where people need one or several pages notarized besides loan documents. And there's different kinds of things besides real estate loan documents, okay? So when you notarize remotely online via identity verification webcam technology, you have to lease a webcam technology platform, because it's very sophisticated and has to fall in line with New York State regulations. We cover that in our online RON course and even have a 10% discount for the original remote online notary software out of Tennessee. So say 15 electronic certificates at $25 equals $375 allowable by law, but remember, we're not required to charge a fee, so we could negotiate our fee. Will the fair market value, what people are willing to pay, be that high? And who are the people assigning you some real estate closing documents? It's going to be mortgage companies and closing companies, all right? So they have pretty much a set fee out there, and we're going to cover that below. So you would want to negotiate with them. If you are notarizing real estate or loan closing documents in person, often referred to as a signing agent, the fees will vary greatly by the assignment that you get. So when they come to your office, again, for you traditional notaries, you're still bound to the $2 signature regulation. 15 face-to-face traditional certificates times $2 would only yield you $30 maximum. Okay. Now, when you travel to the signing appointment in person and you meet the warm body, not mentioned in the law, the flat rate negotiated with a mortgage company to travel to as a closing varies and consists of unregulated charges people will be willing to pay you like a flat rate. A loan signing agent, also called a notary signing agent, typically negotiates a flat fee for notarizing all the documents in a closing packet ranging from $75 to $150. Usually the new people take a lower fee till they get established with some people that assign work to you, and your fee can get bumped up depending on who you're getting the work from. So conclusions. The New York State notary law allows the following fees. Remote notary fee per signature, $25. Traditional notary fee per signature, $2, unless somebody's traveling, and then you can charge mileage and hourly fee and tolls and whatever other fees you want to charge. It's permitted by the IRS. You are not required to charge a fee by law, so you can negotiate fair value. You can charge additional unregulated fees when travel is required. So high volume certificate jobs assigned by institutions like loan companies are negotiated flat rates for both traveling and remote online jobs, $75 to $150. We usually waive fees when we are notarizing at the place of our employment. I've had people tell me, well, they're still going to charge their employer and their coworkers. Usually those are people with government jobs and union jobs, but for those of you that are in regular corporate jobs, usually that's kind of like part of your employment agreement, part of your tasks that they expect you to perform. In most cases, they even paid for you to go get licensed as a notary public. However, they can't charge the fee, only you could charge the fee. So will you be charging your coworkers and employers fees for notarizing? Most of you will not. Because the benefits you get being the notary where you work are increased job security, increased team player value with your coworkers, and increased respect from your employer. And all that's worth a lot more than $2, isn't it? For those of you that have a good job and you're not out there trying to side hustle as a notary public. So that's what we have for you in this video. Asking everybody here to visit how to become a notary in NewYork.com, in NY.com, and there you can join this newsletter and that you're seeing on YouTube, which doesn't include all the other things we have in the video newsletter. You need to get on the distribution. You can go join at this website, how to become a notary in NY.com. There at that website, we have online New York State Notary Public licensing classes for people that want to get the first step done. Then we have live classes available again in New York City starting up in February of 2024, coming up fast. And we have Remote Online Notary class, which is it's an online class. It's after you've achieved the basic licensing prerequisite for those of you folks that want to add it to where you work. And then we have Remote Online Software, 10% discount from the original U.S. provider. So please like, subscribe, comment, and give us a thumbs up on this video, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
www.notaryeverything.com. Every office needs a notary public. Doesn't yours? Award-winning, online, self-paced NY State Notary Licensing Exam Prep. This is an amazing resume turbo booster. Increase respect from your employer or job interviewer. Get respect from coworkers, family, and friends. More and more employers want this on your resume. A notary license gets your resume on top of the interview list. Many people do this as an extra income gig. See the testimonials and social proof. Become the winner in your office by becoming a notary public today. Get free membership in the NYS Notary Association. www.howtobecomeanotary.in.ny.com. Call 347-427-9091 for more info.